Okay, so now that we have a basic balances utility going, it's obviously some stuff left over that we need to fix. Um, like the signs on the balances being wrong. So let's take a look at why that's happening. So we can check the signs just by looking at the sig field. So I'm gonna print out the sig field whenever we print one of the decimals. And I'll go ahead and make that and run it. Great. So we can see the sign is wrong, yet when it comes in, there's no mistake happening in our decimal print function. So let's go see where that total is calculated. It's in parse posting. And yeah, immediately I can see what's wrong here. So we're setting it to the negative of itself every time we add a value to it. We just want to do it once at the end. So move that down here. And we'll see what that does. There we go. So now if I go into Python, all these values should add up to 0. And they do. So that fixes that problem. I also found a small simplification that we can make here. We don't actually need this. We don't need to count how many lines have values in them. We just need to know if we've already found one, which is this variable. So if line without value index doesn't equal -1, that means we found an index. So we need to, there's some formatting error or syntax error, and we need to get out of here. And yeah, that's fine. So let's make sure that works. Interesting. Okay. So let me just undo this. That works. Oh, duh, okay. We have to check if our thing has a value. So I think we can just rearrange this a little bit. We can say we have a value. Then do that. Else. You can even do, if PL doesn't have a value, and line without value index is greater than or equal to 0. That means there's a mistake, because we have multiple lines without values. We just found the second line that doesn't have a value, and we return -1. Otherwise, we add. Actually, we need to change this now. So not p dot has value. Value index equals -1. Then we set it. Otherwise, there's a mistake and we return -1. Otherwise, we do have a value and we just add it to the total as normal. So that should work. Yep, does the exact same thing. That's good. So I'll just make a commit here. Fix total calculation. Fix calculation logic for total of posting. And then the other thing I wanted to do was, instead of realloc array, I just want to use the stbds stuff. So let me go look at the documentation real quick. Alright, okay. So I think all we need to do here is put into the p lines array PL, and we can just get rid of all this stuff, and even that. And wherever we need n lines, it can do arrlen p lines. We might actually use it in the actual utilities. Yeah. Let's check that works. It appears so. Check with accounts as well. Yeah, that works fine. And we can go into sledger.h and get rid of this field here. And do you have any other? Yeah, so realloc array was the only reason we needed a default source here, so we can get rid of that too. And yeah, we don't have default source in any of these guys. Actually, I'm just curious. Get rid of that. Yeah, okay, that causes problems. So we have to keep that. Okay, maybe we should deal with overflow as well. Actually, we can get rid of this to do since we know the minus isn't being messed with there. So let me make a commit. Use stb ds4 array instead of implementing our own. What other to-dos do we have? Just these two, okay. So how do we deal with overflow? Well, if the signs are the same, that's the only way they can overflow, because if the signs are opposite, we'll get closer to 0. So how do we check that? If a.sig is less than 0, b.sig is less than 0. And a.sig plus b.sig is greater than 0, then we have an overflow. Say long sum equals a.sig plus b.sig. You can just do this. Or the opposite. Both of them are greater than 0. And sig is less than 0. Actually, what happens if we add let's see what happens if we add the maximum values of these together. I'm just gonna write a little test program. Actually, we'll just do return -1 for now. And say is this define? Yeah. Say we do this. And we do int 64 max. We add it to itself. We also do int64 min minus int64 max. Let's see what we get. Oh, good. Okay, so this means that our logic is sound, because these are like the worst possible cases of overflow, and in this case we get a negative value, the worst possible case of positive overflow, and a positive value for the worst possible case of negative overflow. So this means that our logic should work. We'll commit that as well. Maybe we should check that it compiles first. Oh. Does this require a default source? Oh. Maybe we need POSIX source. Yeah, okay, that gets rid of the warning. I guess we were including this through default source before. Let's do that. And let me get rid of the to do. And with that, I think we'll call it for this video. I'm not sure what's next actually. I'll have to think about that this week.